Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Top of the Heap with SUNLUST. Today we're going to be talking about our last 5 spins. So my last 5 spins, first up, St Vincent by St Vincent, self-titled. I love this album from start to finish. I feel like it's just a beautiful cacophony of sounds. Just really wonderful music to listen to. I first heard of St. Vincent when she played with the surviving members of Nirvana at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction show. And I checked out this album because it had just come out, and I didn't really like it. It sort of struck me as like electronic-y, and I hadn't really gotten into that stuff at all. And something about the way that she looked and her visuals and her stage performance and the music just stuck in my head, and I ended up going back to it, and it became one of my favorite albums ever. And Annie Clark is just a crazy talented musician, and she just absolutely shreds at guitar and various other instruments. So I really love this album. It's one of my favorites for sure. It's the kind of album you put on and you really just sit and do nothing and you just listen to it. Next up, Green by R.E.M. I feel like this is not the favorite R.E.M. album, but I love this album. Start to finish, it's just a ripper. I grew up with this album, so I'm probably a little bit biased. Just a really feel-good album for me. It reminds me of summer, reminds me of hanging out. Yeah, it's just a great one to put on and just have some good vibes and and some good tunes. Next up, Fully Completely by the Hip. I love all Tragically Hip. Have a lot of their albums, but this was the last one I put on. I feel like this one's pretty rockin'. It's probably my second favorite after Phantom Power. Phantom Power was really the first album by the Hip that I really knew, start to finish. But this is a close contender. Pigeon Camera is probably one of my favorite songs ever. So this is a great album to put on, and another feel-good album. Have it on in the background or just sit and listen to it while you're doing nothing else. It's a great one. Next on the list, we got Help a Stranger by the Raconteurs, their new album. I think the cover actually goes this way, because there's a track listing on the back, but anyway, we got this cool little holographic deal on the front here, but this is the Raconteurs' most recent album. The first one they put out in a long time, but I love everything Jack White does. I've loved Jack White since 7th grade, so this is an amazing album. It's really great. You never really know what bands are gonna come out with when they haven't released something in a long time. You really don't know what to expect, but this is an amazing follow-up to their last album. It sounds like the Raconteurs, but I feel like it's even more rock-oriented, which is sweet, but this album just has so many good songs on it, and it's a banger for sure. Saw the Raconteurs when they were touring for this album as well, and it was like one of the best shows I've ever seen. So love Jack White, love everything he does, and this album is sweet. Last but not least, my last album I spun, Late Show by the Beaches. I know the Beaches are a Toronto staple, but I really didn't get into them until very recently. I went to go see them at the Danforth. I think they had like a 5-night stint there or something like that. Saw them on their last night there, and it was a great show. And this album's really awesome. I always love any female-fronted all-girl band. I love that stuff. It immediately attracts me to check them out. So yeah, these tunes rip, and it's a great album to put on and rock out to. So those were my last 5 albums that I spun. Let us know what you're listening to, and thanks for checking it out. Catch you next time.